Right, I know I put that game somewhere. I set it down somewhere, but I just... Don't you just hate it when you put a game down and you can't find where you put it last? Ugh. That's right, we are finally doing it. It is here after, what, about a year of waiting? I mean, it's not really that long. It went by pretty fast. And we have this giant 61 by 17 by 48 centimeter box. It weighs 24 pounds. At least that's what FedEx said. And let's bust it open. So Hate, of course, is the new board game that has just been shipping to backers from Cool Mini or Not. Done all the artwork is by Adrian Smith. It's based off of his graphic novel of the same name. Now, the game does not follow the events of the graphic novel. It's more like it's set in the world of the graphic novel. And this was Kickstarter exclusive, the entire game. So anyone who bought the core pledge is going to get this. So if you're watching this, either you're watching this because you're interested just to see what this final product looks like, you like my videos, which I greatly appreciate, or you're trying to buy this potentially secondhand on eBay or something like that and wondering what is all in it. Because you will not be able to find this in stores. Also, I'm a little under the weather. I just got back from a funeral. And don't worry, everything's fine, we're good. But I did catch a cold probably from the airplane. And so there might be a lot of jump cuts of where I had coughing fits. And I had to stop the recording. So let's get this busted open. So with the linen finish off, with the plastic off, you can see this really nice linen finish on the box. It is really beautiful artwork. Clearly says Hate across the front. And what's neat is that in person, this skull right here does not stand out. But I can see in the camera and at this angle, you can really clearly see that skull. That's really cool. Let's see what the back looks like. So they made the back as if it was a retail game. That's pretty cool. Maybe one day they do have plans to bring this to retail. Tells you all the different tribes. Gives you a good shot of what you're looking at here. And here's the box contents. So all the normal stuff. This is also done in production. The production is done with Guillotine Games, who, if you are a CMON fan, then you know that they do all of the Zombicide games, so there's probably going to be a lot of overlap in mechanics, but we'll find out. Alright, well, with this giant lid taken off, we see a huge wealth of space. The first thing I'm noticing is a lot of space in this. So we've got space here, space there, space here, like just space everywhere. And I'm wondering if that is so all of the expansions can just fit in the same box. I do not know. As I have said before in my unboxings, I do not watch other people's unboxings first so that I can make sure that I am very, very fresh. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit different in this one, is that anything that I find out that I've said wrong, when I edit this, I will put a small overlay and tell you what it's actually called. So if I say like these, so we have different tokens here. We'll start with these, but I think that these are the Savage tokens. Now, if across the screen it pops up and says, no, those are Hate, then you know that I got it wrong. But I believe that these are the Savage tokens, then we have the Fire, and I think these are the Hate tokens. Off to a really, really good start. Let's see the dice now. I've found that all of CMON's dice are really, really well done, and these are no different. They feel exactly like Zombicide dice. They feel like the Kick-Ass dice. They're nice and chunky. And then I also like that they do the engraved. So these are engraved, not screen printed, with the red on the inside there. And then they're all unique, and I believe that you have like gain hate, gain attack, so on and so forth. We have big bases in red, gray, and black. I don't know what any of that means, but I think it is that these are for different team markers. That's why there's different colors. You have both small bases and large bases. My voice is holding up pretty well. Hopefully it stays that way. So it looks like here we have red tokens. They might be markers of some sort. Then here we have gray ones. And they're the exact same. Yeah, they're the exact same token. But these ones are gray, these ones are red. So I don't know what the difference is there. Also have, ooh, these are neat. I like this. So far, no punch board for any of the tokens. That's great. All plastic. I mean, yeah, it made this game 24 freaking pounds. It made shipping a nightmare, but here we are. And then we have, these are all the little markers, and that was one of the things that I wish I had gotten for Zombicide, was the plastic upgrade. You have probably some sort of objective marker. And then I think these are like the family tokens, or the like the civilizations that you're trying to either like pillage and kill, or you're trying to defend. So let's see. Let's find out what this pack is. I think these are just the card sleeves. Yeah, so these are card sleeves. And the reason is that when you play this game, your character goes into the sleeve, and then they get these types of cards. And you can see most eyeball, greater than, +2, sword. Obviously, I have no idea how to play this game. I know how to play it, like, know how to play it, right? I've watched playthroughs online, but that doesn't mean I know how to play it by reading the rules yet. I looked through the rules and said, you know what, I just will wait for the book. But these go on top of them, and that's the big hook of this game. So you can see here, this prince has toughness and 4+4. You can see over here, KO, steal 1, yada yada. And these will actually slide on it so that you can still see your card, but they will block off different things to basically evolve the character as you're going through. And then these sleeves are what the cards sit in, so that you can do that and keep it all together. If you've played Mystic Vale, that's how that game works. Then we have, well, these say Mercenary. Then there's some other cards. Don't worry, I will bust these open in a second, but I'm just pulling everything out of the box first. This looks like just more like adaptation cards, and they look like they're A01, so they are labeled in some way. So here's our first set of cards open. We have the Prince, and these are really thin, but they are always going to be sleeved because that's part of the game. So I'm going to be less critical about these ones being thin than I would be about some of the other games, because you're going to be putting a ton of cards into that sleeve, and it needs to be able to fit. And if it is too thick, you run the risk of ripping those sleeves, and that would be really devastating. Because it basically breaks the game. Now, of course, you can probably just go buy new ones, but with this being so thin, and I'm guessing that the other cards are going to be thin as well, it makes it so that it is less likely to happen. So, this is the tribe of Umgra. You've got your Prince, Champion, Shaman, and the important part is here, the color is going to match the base of the characters. Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Warrior 3, Warrior 4, Warrior 5, Warrior 6, Youngblood 1, and Youngblood 2. Oh, and Worm. Little Worm there. But you have all these mercenaries. Worm is the only one that's different. That's cute. Worm is the hero / protagonist of the comic book. Or the graphic novel, I should say. I don't want to upset anybody. Alright, let me bust these open. So in that pack, the first thing that we have is this packet of, so these are all your village tabs. And as you bring people back and cook them in the oven, or you torture them in the pit and you gain valuable resources, you can upgrade different things, and that allows you to do more things. So like here you have move +1 space, move +1 space, move +3 spaces. Roll 1 die, roll 1 die, roll 3 die. And you can upgrade it, and then you get a whole packet of them, which what I will do is I will take some of these to work. Oh, they have a backside too. That's pretty cool. I will take these to work and laminate them so that they are good forever, because this will eventually run out. Well, that is if the game is any good and I actually play it, but that will come next. I still have reviews for quite a few other games coming. All right, then here we have a big packet of scenarios. Here's the outer circle, the burning hill. Okay, so this is like a setup for 1v1, which the game is normally 1v1. And you can see on each one of these, right here, it's telling you here trees go, here huts go, here is where you put the black team and the white team. That's where the Youngblood 1 goes, Youngblood 2, Warrior 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. Here's your prince, there's that prince. And so you set up your scenario just like that. And then over here is like a round tracker. Here is how you, the defender, how you win, the attacker, how you win, the setup, and telling you like step by step to make sure that you know how many layers are below there and everything. So that's really cool. And then on the other side is a King of the Hill version of the same scenario. So outer circle, or maybe, no. Okay, caught myself here. This is probably from the map. So with the map, you have an outer ring and then an inner ring. Outer circle, inner circle. Yep. So that, and then you get to the capital, and that's where you try to get the Tyrant. But so this is for the map, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. Let's see. We have the Hate Rulebook. Let's real quick look through this. What do we have? We have an index at the back. That's always great. Good to see. Scars table, clash summary. That's probably some sort of quick guide. And then what I always like, so they always have a layout of everything, all the thing. Here's a story. Playing a clash. What I really like is when a game teaches me and says, okay, first player do this, then second player do this, then third player do this, so on and so forth. And then it's like, then the next turn, what you should be looking to do is this, and kind of like walk you through and hold your hand step by step, and then sort of let you loose. And I really think that that's the best way to teach most games. Not every game, but most games. And I usually think like on your first playthrough, don't try to win, just try to play. And if you completely fail, that's fine. Don't like, in this kind of game, we won't mark anything down, you know? Like just the first one, just try to figure it out, and that's it. So it talks about game rounds, combat. Very easy to read. My first impressions of it is it's very, very easy to read. I just will have to, of course, play it and read it to see if I understand it. That's the most important thing. So what is this? It says special tribe rules. Some tribes bring new mechanics that are not part of the core rules, and they're all broken down here. And skills and scars upgrade, and then this is the entire upgrade pool. And the Mercenaries starting skills. There's the index. Scars table. And then that's like a quick guide there. And the final thing that was in that pack, this is the map. And this is also a whole stack of them. And you can see here there's an outer ring, an inner ring, and then the capital there. And so that's what, this is the map that you're trying to clash and fight with to try to get to this center section to get the Tyrant onto your side. We have, looks like a spacer. And we come to our first boards. So when this game was first announced, there was a big hubbub in the Kickstarter that people were very upset that it was a 2-player game. Because they said that it was 1 to 6 players, but then 2 players at a time. And the reason that came about was because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each of 6 players could take a team, and then 2 people would fight for this one, then those same 2 people would fight, or 2 new people would fight for this one, then here, and then in the middle round you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no matter what, everyone is going to get to progress forward at some point, because everyone's going to need to fight for these. And then once they fight forward again, it then starts to lock them up, and only 3 can move forward, and then only 1 can get the Tyrant, so on and so forth. That was what it was meant to do over time. Well, people threw a fit because they wanted to be able to play it in their game groups, and I'm a little salty about it, only because it was a lot of unneeded hate, for lack of a better word here. It didn't need to go down like that. People could have been a lot kinder with their words, but they were just so angry and aggressive about this idea. So CMON did a stretch goal. So here is the first board, in which they included enough items to play 2 simultaneous games. So we have 2 of the exact same board. I think it's the exact same board. Maybe it's not. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, it is. 2 of the exact same board, so that people can play 2 games at once. What I'm seeing is that it looks like it's glued really well, but there's a lot of like fluff on the side here. That side's wrapped. That side's wrapped. This side is really nice and smooth, but this side is really all like carved up. Oh, I'm not even showing it on the camera. There you go. Really, really carved up there. Wait, hold on. There you go. And then swipe back this way and it goes blurry. Alright, that's weird. Interesting. So then, take these dividers out. And we're on to our punch tokens now. Whew. So, don't need to go through all of these, but this is, if you got the scenery upgrade, which I never buy scenery upgrades. If I really want to upgrade it, like I've talked about before, I will upgrade it myself. But they had ones where they upgraded this to 3D terrain. These are the, like the mountainous shelves. They had trees. They had huts that were in 3D. So all of these are available in 3D ones. Now I don't know what this thing is. Oh, that's neat. So on the back they're randomized. Let's see how they punch out. A little bit of a tag on the side, but overall they're really sturdy. These are really nice thick tiles that are very, very sturdy and hardy. Now CMON is really bad about making things that, like plastic inserts for their products. They're really good at making them for the miniatures, but you can see here these don't fit in any of these. So these tiles are just gonna like get thrown in there, I guess. We'll find out when we're done. But that is something that they are definitely lacking, and I hope that they work on in the future, because they always have stuff for their miniatures. They have such great ones for their miniatures. Remember, I said enough for 2 games to happen. So here's a whole nother pack of the exact same thing. So in here are all the minis, and they are going to look amazing, and they are going to be packaged amazingly. But I really wish that they would do something about the tiles and tokens and making them have space where it fits, because it is a little frustrating to not have that. But that is one, downside. Oh wow, this just keeps coming, doesn't it? Alrighty, so here we are. There is a lot of plastic. Alrighty. So let's zoom in here. Alright, so as you can see, we have one, well, this is the Shaman. This is the Champion. So it goes Champion in brown, Shaman in white, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 warriors, and then the 2 Youngbloods. And the Youngbloods are the same sculpt. And then each set of 2 warriors is the same sculpt as well. So in each tribe, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate sculpts plus a prince. And the prince is in their own box because they're huge. On this side over here, we have the Mercenaries that are small. So they come with the gray base here. But these are small Mercenaries. Let's look at our first. Wow. This is some of the best detail I think I've ever seen. Now, I got a lot of slack for saying that the miniatures that are found in miniatures from Nemesis were as good as Cool Mini or Nots. They are not. They are not as good as Cool Mini or Nots. Cool Mini or Nots are solidly better. I mean, look at this. Look at that detail. This is another print or another captain here. Or no, this is Shaman. Sorry, this is Shaman. That is just incredible. Here is Worm. Oh. Wow. That looks so good. How does he fit back in there? Don't know how he goes back in there. Alright. So now we have a whole nother set. We've got this super creepy lady here. Our guy. This Shaman. With all these skulls. So definitely, if you stuck with me this far, tell me which one would you like to see painted up first. This one was in backwards for some reason. But their fur is excellent. Their fur coats that they have on. These big spiky helms here. And his face is all like mushed up, but like it's supposed to be that way. It's not from the molding process. Yeah, so intricate in detail. I mean, they are all kind of just like half-naked dudes. So, it's going to be a lot of skin color. I might have to buy some more skin colors. Here's a warrior that's actually female. They just look so good. Wow. Here's the guy with a baby on his chest. And there's hardly any flash or mold lines. They're so clean. They look like they've already been cleaned off. Like there's still a little bit. You can still see a little bit on some of these. But overall, just amazing. So let's get to this other box. So I'm left here with this big jumbled mess. And at first I was like, what the hell? And then I remembered in the first 5 seconds of this video, I slammed the box down to make a dramatic effect. And this is probably what happens to it. So maybe don't slam your box down like a big freaking idiot. And this won't happen. Because now I can't even blame it on the shipping company. Which I would have loved to do. But you can't do that when you're the one who friggin' did this. So I will attempt to put them all back together as we look at them. But I don't know where any of them go. And that actually is not my fault. That is something that I'm kind of noticing right now. Is, what? Oh, I've got one in my hand. Here. So I don't think this... I don't know where these go. Maybe here, and this one goes here or something. This one popped off of his base, which is fine. Just pops right back on. But here's my problem. I don't know. I don't know how to put these guys back. They don't like 100% fit, and then like his sword is just on top of this guy. Is that correct? His axe is super bent. Now I didn't do that. That came from it coming out of the molding process too quickly, and then putting it in a box before it was actually dried. So let's see. Here's our first big one. We'll take a look at. This is maybe the maw. So he's got a big mouth here. Now this guy has definitely some seam lines where they glued him together. He's got lines across him from flash. There's another glued part right there. There's a glued part right here. So these ones will take a little bit more work, these bigger ones, than the smaller ones. It looks like, yeah, he's got a big gash in his arm there. His axe is bent as well. We'll have to fix that. This guy's got, big gaps behind his arms there. I mean, overall, they look incredible. Like, look at this. Look at the detail on this. These are like statuette miniatures, and they're as big as my hand. So, these are solid, and all of them are this big. Oh, well. Almost threw that one off the table, but all of them are just giant and super impressive. They got skulls all over them. This big guy. Oh, that looks so cool. And then, of course, here's the Tyrant. He's a heavy piece of plastic. He's one solid dude. And he has no mold lines, no flash. He does need some cleanup right there. That looks like it was an injection spot. Right there. But overall, awesome. Alright, the first one we're going to look at is the tribe of Sarasa. This is one of the expansion tribes. So the box is built as a total standalone for the tribe. And I only purchased the tribes that were very different. I think there was 3 tribes that you could purchase. I didn't get any of the aesthetic upgrades. But I didn't want the other tribe because it seemed like it was just a rehash of the stuff that we already have. So let's look at what we got here. So we've got more, tribe-specific cards. We've got their cards, which I'm sure are the exact same quality, so I won't pop them open yet. But let's look at the models. Now, these ones, since I didn't slam them on the table, probably look much better. And it comes with 1 black ring. I don't know why. So this one we have, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, the same as everyone else. So nothing special in number for this tribe, but here is our prince. Now this guy is creepy. And he's got a bent sword, so we'll have to put that in some hot water. Well, not scalding hot, not boiling water, but if you put like tap water that is hot, dip that in there for a couple of seconds, bring it out, and then straighten it, and then dip it into cold water, holding it. Bring it back out once it's cool, and then do it again. Same exact thing. Do that, and this will be nice and straight. Because you can see it's not even touching well, you probably can't see. It's hard to see from there. But it's not even touching the indent that they made here. So what that really is from is they took this out of the mold while it was still hot, threw it in here, and as soon as they put it in here, it gets pushed up against that while it's still warm, and it bends the plastic. Now, their champion is a beast. He's basically a skull with vines. It's like a swamp thing. He definitely has a lot of cleanup on him. He is one of the muddiest looking figures that I've seen in this entire set. This entire set seems to be sculpted so cleanly, but that guy looks a little muddy. He looks a little like muted. Yeah, these guys are the ones that are like infected. Sort of zombie-like. They're really cool. Wow, his sword is supposed to be straight, just so you know. Look at that. I mean, as long as it's not broken, we can fix it. I mean, even if it is broken, we can fix it, but I'd be upset if I received a broken one. Especially when I didn't throw it on the table. Yes, I'm still mad at myself for that. It was for comedic effect, and it was worth it, but at the same time, now I don't know how to put those guys back into the box. So, here we are. Alright, so this is, I should tell you first, this is the tribe of Vornash. So these are the lizard people. I thought that they would be a pretty cool one to paint up. And they start with some tokens here. Looks like maybe some traps. And they have effects on the back. Wow, KO this figure. And this one has no effect. So that could be like an instant KO to fall on their traps. That's pretty cool. Then you got lure into a trap of range 3. Look at a trap token. And their cards there. Definitely don't know the secrets to this game yet, so I don't know if toughness 4/4 is great when this guy's toughness is 5/4 and how like helpful that is. So I will definitely have to learn that in time. As we can see here, this guy is a freaking monster. Look at him. Wow. He's going to be fun to paint up. It's King Koopa over here. He does look like King Koopa from the Mario Brothers the movie. The very excellent, highly rated, #1 of all time movie, Mario Brothers. Don't at me. This is the story of a girl. This is the champion. He is also a big meaty dude. So I'm really into him too. See, their sculpting is way better than the Sarasa. The Sarasa is just too muddy. These guys, look at that detail. Wow, that's just stunning. That is so good. So again, make sure you comment down below. What would you like to see painted up first? What tribe, if you don't have a specific model, just what tribe are you most interested in? Let me put these back here. And here is the final box to open, as if it wasn't enough. I know all good things must come to an end, but we're ending with the Mother Prophecy. This is a story expansion that has some new scenarios and some unique rules about trying to save Mother Earth. So the whole reason this entire game is even possible and this world is possible is that Mother Earth was imprisoned and she is fighting back against the world, and that's why they all live in squalor and they have to kill and eat each other because plants don't grow anymore and they all mutate and things like that, and the biggest, strongest of them survive. But here we are, and look at that mini. That is not a mini, that is a maxi. So we have some cards here, some Merc cards. Most likely the same thickness and everything. That's why I'm not opening the cards, because they're probably all the same. But oh my god, this box is considerably heavier than it would be if it was filled with anything other than these beasts. So I will bring out some of the other ones. I will bring out some of the other ones with them so that you can see a size comparison. So let's first look at Mother Earth here. So she's really cool because she has this big stalk that she's growing out of and growing with. So it's really, really cool. And then we have here this demon lord guy. I don't know who he is. But look at those horns. Oh, wow. Looks a little like Hellboy. He's got skulls imprinted into his flesh all over him. Some giant blades here. And like, here's the Sarasa. Yeah. Let's get the Tyrant, because the Tyrant is definitely the biggest of the core box in height. And you can see he is able to defeat him. And if you own Zombicide, these are about the same size as all the heroes from Zombicide. About the same height. So there is the Tyrant next to a Zombicide hero. Alright, so now we have the horse maiden person. I don't know any of their names. But this naked horse lady riding a very cool stallion. Very awesome. And then here's, in comparison, you can see she is a normal sized character. He is almost as big as the horse. But in terms of like, yeah, actually they do kind of take up the same size. They're like the same weight. This is just a beastly figure. Really cool though. And then of course the star of the show, the biggest singular mini that I now own, this hulking beast. This has a guy as big as the Tyrant on top of a mount. This thing weighs probably half a pound. This has to be like half a pound. This is incredible. This is, if you own an airbrush, you are probably so excited right now. If you do not own an airbrush, you should look into an airbrush. Because that will make this, you know, much easier work of a dude this big. Look at this blade. This blade is just about 2 inches long. The blade's as big. How many miniatures do you have where the tip of their weapon is as big as a standard human in miniature scale, in 35mm scale? This is just nuts. I mean, I'm not going to go on about this any longer, but don't ask me to paint this one first, okay? So this box is off limits for requests to paint first, because I want to take my time on these ones. They just look like showpieces, and I want to like do the best that I possibly can, and I don't think I can do that while also trying to record it and get it out quickly. So definitely ask me for any of the models in here to see how I paint them up, but don't ask for this box anytime soon. I will definitely paint them. You will definitely see them, but I will be taking my sweet ass time on this one. Well, there it all is. I really appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. If you did, if you like my unboxing videos, make sure you comment down below and like the videos. And if you are new here, please subscribe. I do unboxings of all the Kickstarters that I got, and I also have videos showing you what Kickstarters I've already gotten all through 2018 and which ones will be showing up soon. I really appreciate it so much. Do not forget to tell me what model I should be painting first, and let me know what tribe are you going to play when you do your first game of Hate. I appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time.
New outro, I know. If you want to watch more in this series, click right here. If you would like to watch another video in a completely different series, click right here. And if you'd like an easy way to subscribe, other than clicking down below, even though it's right there and it says subscribe, you can click on this little picture right here. That also works.